can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. And give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on a brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque yo no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy.
Welcome in. Happy Monday, everybody. Dewan, what's up? Happy Monday. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. If you're in the chat, let me know how your weekend was. Austin, thank you for tuning in. Money Monday, yes. If you guys are in the Discord, you know I typically don't have. I'm not a volume better. There are people that volume bet and they have success at it. So I'm not gonna call out volume bettors, but I will say that the mass majority of people that do volume bet are just putting themselves at a disadvantage, in my opinion. I'm not saying there's not people that volume bet that don't make money. There are, but I think that there's a very specific way that you would have to go about it, and just the mass majority of people that are on Twitter or Facebook, wherever, and they're volume betting are probably losing bettors. I'll just get that out of the way. So typically, if you guys are in the Discord, you know, I don't go into a day with, I'm going to bet this amount of plays. It all entirely depends on the slate, what I think there's an edge in. I would say on average, we probably have 3 to 6. I would say 6 on like the high end. Typically, it's probably 3, 4, 5. That's probably my sweet spot of what I can find every single day that I actually think, there's a positive edge in our favor. And a lot of times it's less than that, especially on like a smaller baseball slate. Like I'm not forcing 5 plays. So yesterday was actually a crazy day. I had 8 bets. That never happens. And we lost around 1.5 units. So that was unfortunate. We were having a great weekend until that. We were having a great weekend until halftime of the Cavs game. We were on the Magic. They absolutely choked in the second half. And then we had Wendell Carter Jr. over 8.5 rebounds plus assist. He finished with 8. So even if the Magic lost, like even if just Wendell would have could have got us one more rebound or assist, we would have pretty much broke even yesterday. So that was unfortunate. But yesterday was a rare day for me with 8 bets on the card. That typically does not happen. There was a lot of stuff I liked yesterday. Episode 187 is crazy, Dwan. I agree. 187 is nuts. I've got on here 187 times and talked to you, all of you. That's pretty crazy. Maybe we'll do a giveaway for episode 200. That would be what? At the end of the week, we'll be at... If I do Saturday streams this week and next week, that would put us at the 20th for episode 200. Maybe we'll do a giveaway. It's going to be the 3rd week of May regardless for episode 200. So maybe we'll do some sort of a giveaway. We'll see. But if you had a good weekend, let me know in the chat. We are here. We've got MLB tonight, decent little slate. We've got obviously NBA playoffs. There are 2 games tonight instead of 1, which is nice. Yesterday there was 1 game and it was at 1:00, so it was like 3:00 and all the games were over. So that was unfortunate. My live bet of the day yesterday was Levert over 10.5 after Strus and Garland got in foul trouble. Yeah, that was a good bet, Austin. He finally played well. Strus hit a couple threes in the second half that were big. I'm happy that the Cavs, got a win, moved on. But I don't know. I'm going to be curious to see if that was enough for them to keep JB Bickerstaff around, or if they still would fire him, assuming they lose to Boston. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happens. But regardless, I'm happy they got a win. Moved on. I'm pretty sure that's the first playoff series they've won since like the 90s without LeBron James on their team, which is pretty crazy. It's 30 years of playing. So good for them. I don't like a ton in baseball today either, Austin. I have a couple plays. We'll talk about them, but I agree. Not a great baseball slate. I'm thinking we should make a parlay for these basketball games, though. So I might dive in there. I'm definitely open to a same game parlay in the basketball games. If you guys missed it, I did tweet out my series bets for round 2. We went 4-0 in round 1, almost 6-unit profit. Round 2, I like the Knicks -1.5. So that's the Knicks to win in 6 games or less. That is -125, I think, when we took it. It's probably around the same still. And then I like the Mavericks at -105 against the Thunder. I do think the Mavericks are alive to beat the Thunder. I was going to bet Minnesota +1.5 against Denver. It was like -190, so I was going to do a 2-unit on that. But since we took Minnesota to win the title last week at, I believe, 9-1, I didn't feel like there was any reason for us to bet that series because, in my opinion, whoever wins the Nuggets Timberwolves series will go to the NBA Finals. And I think if Minnesota were to get to the finals and play Boston, we would get a good enough number to where we could hedge a bit by taking Boston in that series. So there's no reason for me to bet this series, even though they were a pretty good price. It was like +160, I think. I didn't feel like there was a reason for me to bet it because I think they have a good chance of getting to the finals if they win this series. So I'll look to hedge in the finals, if they get there. But stealing a game from Denver in game 1 at Denver is huge. I've talked about it on the stream a few times, but I said Denver had never lost a home game with their starting 5 playing the full game once they traded for Aaron Gordon. So that was their first loss at home with that starting 5 playing the whole game. I'm concerned a little bit. Jamal does not look 100% to me, even with the couple days of rest he had. And I'm concerned about him because against the Lakers, he was able to get away with that because the Lakers cannot defend you with length on the perimeter like the Minnesota Timberwolves can. So I think that is, concerning if you're as a Denver backer. Like, we didn't bet Denver in the series. I like Denver. I like how they play. They play team basketball. I like Jokic. So like, I don't hate him, but him not being healthy, he could get away with that against the Lakers because they could get him in mismatches against, a D'Lo or even a Reeves. Like, they were hunting Reeves on defense a lot. Like, it was easy to get mismatches with him. And there really are no mismatches against Minnesota. Like, they have so many bodies, so much length they could throw at you on the perimeter. Like, you can really disrupt him. And Anthony Edwards can body bag him if he's not fully healthy defensively. So I think that's a concern for Denver. I think that the depth is a concern for Denver. I brought this up against the Lakers. Like, Christian Brown is good. He's a good NBA role player, but he's young. I don't think we could put him on that Bruce Brown level yet. And Bruce Brown was a key factor for this Denver team last season. So I still think the depth pieces are a concern. Minnesota has significantly more depth than Denver at this moment in time. You just look at someone like Naz Reid come off the bench, and Anthony Edwards did Anthony Edwards things, but Minnesota doesn't win that game without Naz Reid in the fourth quarter going absolutely bananas. And, he comes off the bench. So Minnesota has more depth. I think that they, in terms of stylistically, they can match up better defensively right now, given their personnel. And if Jamal's not fully healthy, like they can disrupt him with their length, and you're never going to stop Nikola Jokic. He's going to get his regardless, but they at least have three big bodies they can throw at him. Whereas if you look at LA, LA has Anthony Davis, right? They don't have any size behind him. So at the end of the game, when Anthony Davis is exhausted because he has to go max effort on defense and offense the entire game, they don't have anyone they can put in. They can't put Jackson Hayes on Jokic, but Minnesota has three big men that they can at least disrupt Jokic with, and they're not going to get as tired. So I just don't think Minnesota is a good matchup for Denver right now, and that's why I think that they can win the series. I agree, Austin. I don't think anyone can push Boston except for maybe New York, and I don't even know if New York can. We'll see. I definitely want that to be the Eastern Conference Finals matchup, though. I think that'd be super fun, and it would be like a classic series between, two storied franchises. I think that'd be awesome. But I agree. I think Boston is definitely getting to the finals, and I think whoever wins between Denver and Minnesota, which I said it last week, I think Minnesota's going to win the title, and I think that they're going to get past Denver and they're going to go to the finals. And I would take my chances with Minnesota over Boston. I really would, especially because we just don't know the full extent of the health of Porzingis. I don't know, this Minnesota team. They just look good at the right time. They've avoided any like serious injuries. Hopefully nobody gets hurt the rest of the way. But I love how they're playing. I feel really good about that. I feel really good about that 9-1 ticket. It's down to like 5-1 now. Let me see what FanDuel has it at. 6-1 on FanDuel. Like, I'm feeling good about that ticket. I really am. And I put the parlay we talked about on stream. I did Minnesota and the Oilers too, and that was pretty crazy odds. So, I don't know if the Oilers will even make the Stanley Cup, but it gives us something to root for. I think New York can push them. I just think Boston is a very complete team, even without Porzingis. I love this New York team. I would root for New York over Boston if they played. I love how this New York team plays, but Boston is a very complete team. Also, I don't know if the Knicks could beat them in a 7-game series, but I don't think it would be like a 4-game series or anything like that. I agree. Minnesota needs a championship. I didn't think in my lifetime ever we would see the Minnesota Timberwolves on the brink of an NBA championship, but like they actually can win one. I can't believe it. It's actually crazy. All right, let's dive in here. We'll run through baseball. Not a lot I like, and then we'll talk basketball, and we'll see if we could cook a parlay for this for these basketball games tonight. What are the boosts today? Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokic scored 25 plus points in the Denver game on FanDuel. There's a prop I like tonight for basketball, which we'll talk about. But all right, baseball. Let's pull it up. I got the live trends tool up here. One of the most useful tools at betcover.com. Obviously, we use it on stream every single day. It's the first thing I look at in the morning as well to get a lay of the land before I dive in. So super useful tool if you guys sign up. It comes in handy, and this data comes directly from DraftKings Sportsbook, so it is obviously good data. All right, Giants Phillies, that starts here in like an hour. Zach Wheeler's going for the Phillies. They're minus 230. Not going to bet anything there. Phillies clutched for us last night. We had them at plus 102 on the money line. They won the game. They had that same boost on Saturday. Okay. I mean, Ant is probably going to get 25. I just don't see how they have anyone that could stop him. But Jokic, I guess, could not get 25 maybe if he had a game where he was getting more assists. But, I mean, he's probably going to get 25 too. I think that boost is pretty safe, to be honest. Yeah, so we're not going to bet the Phillies game, though. Minus 230 is too rich for me. I guess if you wanted to parlay their first 5 with something, I think you could do that. Anytime you have an elite starter like this, I'm fine for a first 5 parlay. So if you wanted to find something along those lines, I think you could do that. Tigers, Guardians, Tristan McKenzie, Jack Flaherty. This is a 7.5 total, which is extremely low, and it's juiced to the under on FanDuel. Guardians are slight favorites at -120. I don't know what to do with this one. You guys know we've bet on Jack Flaherty quite a bit this year. We were all over him in that last start against in the revenge game, and he crushed. So I don't know. We've been riding Jack Flaherty, and the numbers are still very good. 307 expected ERA. He's only walking 3% of batters. It's very good. 34% strikeouts. Very good. He's still getting a ton of swing and miss on that slider and that knuckle curve. 52% on the knuckle curve, 40% on the slider. He's just been good. The resurgence is here. Clearly, the Tigers pitching coaches are better than whatever they've got going on in St. Louis at the moment, because he was pretty terrible the last few years in St. Louis. But Cleveland is good. Cleveland is a good team. They're better than I expected. I got to give them credit there. Did not think they'd be very good this year, but they've surprised me. They don't strike out a lot, so I don't know if this would be a spot for the Flaherty strikeouts. They don't strike out a ton as a team. They don't strike out a lot against sliders, which is obviously, we look for that when it comes to Flaherty. So I don't know if it's a spot for that. I would like an under. If we could have got an 8.5 here, I would like the under. But you can see, I mean, it opened at 7.5. Obviously, Vegas isn't stupid. I still give the edge to the Tigers in terms of like pitching matchup, though. I just still have concerns about Tristan McKenzie's health. The numbers have improved over his last few starts, but he's still at a 5 expected ERA. He's still striking out only 18% of batters. If you remember back to when he come up and made his debut, I mean, he was striking out, 34%, 30% of batters. Now he's down to 18%. So something clearly still is not right when you're looking at those strikeout numbers, and his walks are 14%, which is just not good. But at the same time, the Tigers offense outside of Riley Green has really not been very intimidating. This Wenzel Perez character has been pretty solid as well. But I mean, other than him and Riley Green, really nobody else has been doing anything in this Tigers lineup. They're hitting 309 WOBA against righties as a team. If you look at last season and this season, if I pull up just this season, it's 306. So like they've been not good. Riley Green, 417 WOBA, Wenzel Perez, 396. And Kerry Carpenter's all right at 354. That's really the 3 bats that you have to navigate. The bottom of the order is terrible. Colt Keith, Torkelson, McKinstry, Carson Kelly, all below like a 270 WOBA against righties, like really, really bad. So this is probably just a stay away for me. I don't see any distinct edge just because I don't trust the Tigers offense right now to bet them, like first 5. I just don't trust them to score many runs. Like Flaherty could give up like a 2-run home run. That's all he does. And like you could lose because I just don't know if they're going to score, even though I don't like McKenzie. And then the first 5 totals at 3.5. If it was at 4.5, we could look to an under, but probably just to stay away. Overall for me, Angels, Pirates, Mitch Keller, Tyler Anderson. Pirates open -135. They are the public side on the money line, but not so much on the spread. And that line has moved from -135 to -162. I still am hesitant to believe this Tyler Anderson start. I mean, ERA 2.23 looks really good, right? But we're talking about just 18.5% strikeouts with 10% walks, right? Which is not good. That's not a good ratio. And we're talking about an expected ERA that's over 2 full runs higher than his actual ERA. And then when I look at his actual pitches, like he's getting a lot of whiffs on his changeup, 40%. And he's allowing a 158 batting average with that changeup. And he throws it almost as much as his fastball. So he's entirely reliant on this changeup to do literally anything. The four-seam fastball is okay at best. Like it's really contingent on if his changeup's working, he's probably going to have a good start, and if it's not, then he's probably not. If we look at the Pittsburgh Pirates against changeups, they're not good. Connor Joe, I mean, oh wait, let me do current and last season. Okay, definitely a little bit better numbers, but honestly, it's like a small sample from Jared Triolo that's like skewing this. I mean, Andrew McCutchen below a 300 WOBA against changeups. Key Brian Hayes is below 230. Connor Joe and Brian Reynolds are like, they're like average, slightly above average. And then O'Neal Cruz, pretty bad. Joey Bart, pretty bad, but those are small sample size. I don't know. I wanted to be on Pittsburgh here because I just don't trust Tyler Anderson. But then at the same time, do I trust Mitch Keller? I still don't know. I still don't know if we can trust him. I don't know if he's back. I don't know if he's healthy. His ERA is at 5.17. His expected ERA is right on par with that at 5.09. He's only striking out 21% of batters. For reference, he struck out 25% last year. Walks it up a little bit. His expected WOBA is up sizably. I don't know. I don't know if I trust it. His four-seamer last year, this is a big difference. This is where the concerns really ride for me for Mitch Keller. If we look at last year, he was throwing 95 with his four-seam fastball. This year, he's got it at 94. So it's a little bit less. But if we look at the actual data behind it, four-seamer last year, he allowed a 176 batting average and got 30% whiffs on it. This year, that batting average is up to 282. 176 last year, 282 this year, batting average against his four-seamer. Guys have been hitting his four-seamer way better this year, and he throws it 33% of the time. So that's a little bit concerning for me. I would say an over 8 could be in consideration for me here, or a 7.5. If it's 7.5 on DraftKings, I'm certainly interested. Because I think the Pirates can score some runs here, and I think the Angels probably could too. Obviously, we don't like Mike Trout being out of the lineup, but hey, it might not matter. So I haven't bet it, but I'm going to lean over in this Angels-Pirates game. White Sox and Tampa Bay. I do not see a starter listed for the White Sox. I thought I saw yesterday it was going to be Eric Fetty, so maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it says to be determined right now on FanDuel. I thought I saw it was going to be Fetty, but maybe I'm wrong. And then Alexander going for the Rays. Rays are pretty sizable favorites here, minus 184 on FanDuel and minus 180 on DraftKings. I don't love anything here. Nothing stuck out. I don't even know who's pitching for the White Sox, so obviously nothing sticking out in terms of starting pitching matchup. And I'm still mad about the Rays because every time I bet on them this year, they lose. So that's probably a stay away from me. Let's check the Moneyline Predictor out. Moneyline Predictor loves Tampa. It's the second highest graded differential. So Moneyline Predictor likes the Rays. I do not like the Rays. Didn't he pitch 2 days ago? Yeah, maybe he did against St. Louis. I think you're right, Dewan. I thought I saw something last night that he was pitching today, but maybe I was tripping. I don't know. That's stay away from me though. Brewers Royals. We have Cole Reagans going for the Royals against Bryce Wilson of the Brewers. We know what Cole Reagans is about in terms of his strikeout ability. Bryce Wilson has been solid for the Brewers. He hasn't been bad. Big differential on the money line here. 45% of the bets, but 93% of the handle coming in on the Brewers. So big position for bettors on the Brewers tonight. I mean, that's noteworthy to me. Let's see if the Moneyline Predictor likes anything. Moneyline Predictor likes the Brewers too. I don't know. That's a pretty sizable split. I don't normally bet just off a split in baseball. I don't really bet based off a split in anything. I just use it as another tool, but I don't know. That's pretty big differential. I'm going to look a bit more into it and maybe Maybe we'll consider the Brewers tonight. We'll see. Seattle and Minnesota. We have Woods Richardson, the rookie, going for the Twins against Luis Castillo of the Mariners. Total is 8 runs. It looks like open at 7.5. It's up to 8. There's a lot of sharp money on the Mariners here, which I can understand. Woods Richardson has not been bad, but he hasn't been great either. 4.83 expected ERA. That's 2 runs higher than his actual. He's given up 44% hard hits, 20% strikeouts, 290 WOBA allowed, but 346 expected WOBA. I don't really like what I'm seeing there. On the Luis Castillo side, he's been his usual self. Pretty good. Mariners definitely stick out here, and it's a slight line at -120. The Twins are red hot, though. I know they lost yesterday, but Minnesota, I think, would they go on like a 12-game win streak? I mean, they were smoking last week, and of course, we weren't betting on them. I bet on this team more than any team last year. Did they ever reward us with a 12-game win streak? No. But they go on one this year. So Mariners look interesting to me. I probably will add Mariners to my card, to be quite honest with you. Padres Cubs. Justin Steele is back for the Cubs tonight. I haven't looked and seen anything on a pitch count. I don't think he should have one, though, because it wasn't an arm injury that he was dealing with, and he made, I'm pretty sure, like rehab starts. So off the top of my head, I think he'll be pretty good, but I'll look into it regardless. I don't think he should really have a pitch count, though, tonight. And he's going up against Yu Darvish. I'm a Justin Steele fan. I prefer him to Yu Darvish. I love this Cubs team. I think this Cubs team could make a deep run and go to the World Series. So Cubs first 5 is in consideration for me. I had that on my potential list tonight. So I like Cubs first 5, and I might add that to my card. Mets and Cardinals, we have Sean Manaea going against Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson, you guys know I love fading him. We've been fading him all year. His ERA is 3.79. His expected is 5.58. He's striking out just 19% of batters. He throws a ton of sinkers. It's his most used pitch, and I mean, he's given up a 340 expecting batting average against sinkers. Like, the sinker has not been great for Kyle Gibson this year. And if we look at the Mets lineup against the pitch, they have majority of their hitters have really good numbers against sinkers. Nimmo 320 WOBA, Lindor 327, Alonso crushes sinkers 370, JD Martinez 463, very, very good numbers against sinkers. McNeil 413, Brett Beatty 459, even Tyrone Taylor 331. Like, this team crushes sinkers. So I think it's a great matchup for them in terms of their offense. I think you could look at like a Mets team total over, most certainly. And then on the Cardinals side, this Cardinals lineup, like offensively, is just not. It's just not it. But Sean Manaea has outperformed his metrics this year, most certainly. He also is a sinker ball pitcher. And I mean, if we look at just Sean Manaea in general, he's better against lefties than righties because he's a left-handed pitcher, and he's going to see pretty much all righties tonight. He's probably going to see 7, I would say, righties in this Cardinals lineup. And the Cardinals also have pretty respectable numbers against sinkers. Goldschmidt and Wilson Contreras both have very good sinker ball hitters. Lars Nootbaar, I know it's lefty-lefty, but he hits sinkers well. So I think this is a spot to back the over. The over is at 8, and I love it. I love the over in the Mets-Cardinals game. Is my favorite play on the slate. So that's what I'll say. And then you could definitely look at Mets team total over too, I think. Might have to stack New York. Yeah, Mets are a good DFS stack, I think, for sure as well. Definitely. All right, last couple games of the night. Marlins, Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers are -330, -355 rather, on the money line. Walker Buehler's back for them. So, yeah, we're not even discussing that. Rangers, A's, Alex Wood, Andrew Haney, couple lefties on the mound. Let's look at Alex Wood. Alex Wood, pretty bad numbers across the board. Andrew Haney is kind of is what he is, you know. He's so boom bust. He's gonna have good starts. He's gonna have bad starts. I mean, anytime you can get a team playing the A's at below -150, I think it's fine to take. So I like Texas here, most definitely. If you ask me favorite spots on this baseball slate, for sure, Mets Cardinals over. And I like the Rangers, and I kind of like the Mariners now that I looked into it. So I might add that to my card. I'm not touching Dodgers. I will never touch a baseball team if they're -300. It's just stupid, I think. And yeah, I don't know what to expect from Bueller in his first start back. Excited to watch him pitch though. He's been gone for quite some time. But yeah, -355 baseball line is that's just insane. The Marlins are pretty dog meat though. I mean, they're pretty bad. All right. Switch over to basketball. Pacers, Knicks, Timberwolves, Nuggets. Definitely, I think the Nuggets, even though I think it's a terrible matchup for the Nuggets, they should bounce back and get this game here. Like, there's no way it's 2-0 mini going back to mini, right? Like, no way. No way the Nuggets are going out like that. So I think they'll probably win tonight. I'm not going to bet a side of it. I'm just going to root for the Wolves for our futures ticket, but I would be pretty surprised to see them go back home up 2-0. That'd be pretty bonkers. And then on the Pacers Knicks side, I don't know, man. I just think the Knicks are the better team. I like the style the Pacers play. They have the personnel to play it. I just don't think it's a good matchup for them though stylistically. And I 100% believe the narrative that Jalen Brunson wants to destroy Rick Carlisle. I'm fully bought into that narrative. Because if you watch the Dallas Mavericks when Jalen Brunson was on the Mavericks, you knew that Jalen Brunson, like if you actually watched basketball, you knew Jalen Brunson was going to be a very good NBA player. I didn't think I've been a Brunson fan. Even I didn't think he would be as good as he is now, but you could tell like he was better than the role he was playing on that Mavs team. And I definitely think that he has some ill will towards Rick Carlisle and wants to bust his ass. So I definitely am fully bought into that. I think the Knicks take care of it in 5 games, if I had to guess. I think it's gonna be a 4-1, but it might be 4-2. Might be 4-2. Brunson to score 25 points in every game. I love that, Austin. What is that on? What book did you take that on? On FanDuel? Where's that at? Let me see. Uh Oh, I see it. Brunson to score 25 in every game plus 170. I like that. I'll probably honestly take that, to be honest with you. I'm probably gonna bet that. I love that. I think he's gonna kill Rick Carlisle most certainly. So I'm not gonna bet a side of either of these games, but I'm pretty bought in to the Knicks handling this, and I would be pretty surprised if Minnesota goes up 2-0, even though I think Minnesota wins the series. All right. I'm going to bet that Jalen Brunson prop. So shout out to Austin in the chat for that one. Jalen Brunson to score 25 plus points in every game of the series, plus 170 on FanDuel, go under East playoff series. And then Indy, New York, popular parlays featured. It's the first one there. I will be betting that. Let's see if we can get a parlay here. All right. Let's get like 2 legs from each game. Jalen Brunson's points prop is 36.5. It's actually insane. Let's do Brunson 3 plus threes. It's minus 160. And then let's do Who do we like on the Pacers side of this? I might come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. Let's go to the other game real quick. Let's do Karl Anthony Towns 3+3s. He was in foul trouble in that last game, and we're getting 2-1 on that. So we'll do Jalen Brunson 3+3s, Karl Anthony Towns 3+3s, and then for the Nuggets prop, I might like Jokic 10+ assists, and then we can do 10+ rebounds to go along with that. Definitely think he can triple double tonight. I mean, that's minus 480 though. It's gross, but whatever. All right, we just need a Pacers prop. Someone in the chat, feed me a Pacers prop. Where's the 25 point? It was on FanDuel on the sidebar. I'm on PC, obviously, but I don't know. On the app, it's probably the same thing. It's like popular. There's like live now promos, and then the yellow lightning bolt is boosts. It was under the boosts one. We have a 30% boost for this also, so we'll be able to boost the odds up on this. I just need a Pacers prop. I'm thinking either we go 2 Knicks props or we take maybe I'll find it. Thanks. Just wanted to know. Oh yeah, it was on FanDuel. What do we think of Hartenstein? Hartenstein 10 rebounds. What do we think? Indiana ranks 29th on defensive boards. Yeah. I'm thinking Hartenstein boards or because Josh Hart's line's at 12.5. I'm not betting. I mean, he'll probably get it, but I'm not betting that. So, because I'd have to go 14 plus, and I'm not doing that. So I think we do Hartenstein boards over Andrew PRA. Hart is definitely probably going to get 12 boards. I guess we could just do 12 plus. Andrew PRA, what's his line at? 17.5. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. Austin, I don't know. They might be in the game. I don't know. Tibbs is a wild boy. Tibbs is a wild boy. All right. Well, since we're taking Brunson 3 threes, we might as well just take him like 25 plus points because obviously if he it's minus 7,000. Let's take him 30 plus points, I guess. Okay. All right. So we have Brunson 3+ threes. Brunson 30 plus points. Let's change this to 4 threes for Brunson. Since we have him scoring 30. So that's going to just help our odds out. All right. Brunson 30 plus points. Brunson 4+ made threes. Karl Anthony Towns 3+ made threes. Jokic 10 assists. Jokic 10 rebounds. That's plus 1902. Obviously, we'll be able to boost that up. But I'm not opposed to adding one Pacers prop. We could do someone on the Pacers threes. We could keep Hartenstein rebounds and just do like 8. I might do that, to be honest. Yeah, I was thinking about topping, but I just don't trust it. All right, chat. Hartenstein 8+ rebounds or Josh Hart 12+. Which one are we picking? I don't think I can do triple double odds in a same game parlay. I don't think it lets you do that. So you have to do it like individually. Triple double odds would be better, I think, but I don't think I can. Let me see here. I'm not a game log watcher, but I just want to see like let's just do well, what is let me see here. 10 plus for hearts minus 410. That's probably fine. All right, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. All right, if you guys are listening, apologies. I was trying to figure that out. But all right, 3 legs. So it's a 6-leg, same game parlay, 3 in each game. Brunson, 30 plus points. Brunson, 4 plus made threes. Josh Hart, 10 plus rebounds, which is plus 226. And then in the Timberwolves game, we've got Cat, 3 plus made threes. Jokic, 10 plus assists. Jokic, 10 plus rebounds. It's 23.92, and then you can add your 30% boost on that. So it'll pay out pretty nice. That's what we're rolling for the same game parlay for the games tonight. I'm not betting a side of these games, but I am going to ride Austin's prop of Brunson to score 25 plus in every game. All right. Little 40-minute stream today. I'm going to try and go live this Saturday. I told you guys last week, I want to do Saturday streams, but it just didn't work out that way last week. Hopefully this week we can get on that. Tomorrow I'll be live, same time, 3 p.m. everywhere. We will recap today. We will talk about tomorrow. Love Tuesdays because we get those huge baseball slates. So we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow, and there's some NBA going as well. Austin, appreciate you tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Good luck with your bets, and I'll see everyone tomorrow at 3 o'clock.